Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today being the afternoon of the 8th of February 2026, I'd like to greet and welcome you again to our channel. And let me start by reminding you about the importance of subscribing to the channel, commenting below both on the content and the methodology of delivery. Your comments and contributions are highly appreciated and highly welcome and encouraged. As we have emphasized many times before, that ours is not a current affairs program. We are strictly and unapologetically a channel that looks at things from the point of that tackles matters of technology, innovation, and innovations in the sciences, engineering, in the sciences and engineering that have an impact on the development of the people of Africa, and from the point of view or taking the perspective of African people in all forms. Now, however, a recent, unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, there are many highly topical issues and developments in South Africa at the moment, which, without getting into details, have to do with some investigations into some infiltration by crime syndicates and cartels and related criminal operatives in like their infiltration of an influence over our country's judicial system, criminal justice system, and the police and the judiciary in particular. So one of the startling revelations that have since been made in those developments, as I said, we are not interested in them per se, in the merits and details of those things, because that's not within the scope of this channel. But one of the starting issues was the inadequacy of our forensic investigations, both in terms of the availability, that is the number, the quantities of forensic facilities and infrastructure, in particular adequate laboratories, forensic laboratories, and not just in numbers, but also in terms of the quality of service that they offer, and the level, the technical capabilities. And that's very worrying, you know. That's a very worrying revelation and a very depressing state of affairs. And it's relevant for this channel, hence I decided to bring it up, because it's about the capabilities of our forensic laboratories to provide the necessary evidence support and so on, which are used by the courts and other institutions, the police and other institutions in resolving matters within the criminal justice system. The relevance for our channels comes because all those require scientific expertise, and they require innovations and developments in the scientific in order to provide police investigations and the courts with technical and objective material to be used as evidence in the resolution of matters. So there's hence the relevance of this of it for our channel, because as I've argued before, that unless as a country and as a continent we invest adequately and hugely in the research, development, and innovations in the sciences, the biotechnological sciences in particular, we'll have adverse developmental impact, and that has just been proven and brought to bear among these in these investigations that are going on in our country. Because if you cannot adequately and reliably resolve criminal matters using scientific knowledge, which can only be provided if we develop adequately those expertise and facilities and services. So that is why I said it's like we're looking at how our failure as a country and as a continent, as a people of Africa, to invest in innovations in the biotechnology. For instance, you need expertise. You need expertise in genetics, in molecular biology. You need technicians, highly skilled technicians at various levels to be employed and utilized in those facilities. That's not happening. That's not going to happen. So, and the service, both the quantity and quality of service that's provided by forensic laboratories or by our forensic laboratory in Pretoria or anywhere for that, are not going to improve. There's not going to be any improvement. As a country, we have scores of graduates and diplomates in the life sciences, for instance, genetics, molecular biochemistry, microbiology, and so on, who are unemployed or underemployed. Yet we have as institutions of higher learning and universities with the capabilities with the research capabilities and expertise to develop and produce the kind of output in terms of graduates and other technicians that are necessary to capacitate those forensic laboratories. This is the angle that I thought I should come from this particular afternoon. We're looking at how do we use innovations in the sciences, and particularly the biology and the life sciences, to capacitate and improve our forensic science laboratories as a continent, and what innovations and investments are necessary there. That is the angle that I like us to take this afternoon. And that is what I like us to occupy ourselves with. Let's think beyond what's going on our TV screens, vis-a-vis the Madlanga commissions, the ad hoc committees, the infiltration of the alleged infiltrations of our criminal justice systems by crime syndicates and other gangs and so on. Let's look at it beyond that. As members of the national system of innovation, let's look at what opportunities well, what challenges and problems are revealed there, and what opportunities also become available, and how do we respond as members of the innovation community, technology and innovation community. We are not from the legal and related and current affairs point of view. That's an area, or those are areas and fields for other people. I'd like us to proactively, or to take in as how do we respond to that. What are the challenges, and what inputs can be made by members of the system of innovation, both in the country and in the continent, in the light of those developments. I hope I'm clear, but this is such a critical and important subject area that I believe we'll have to come back to it again in the near future. Utemba Wagamataba, I thank you again. Until we meet next week, bye-bye.